The man rolled down the car window to test the thickness of the mud outside, but a large amount of watery mud rushed in. He quickly rolled up the window, still not fully composed. The sunroof suddenly shattered. He immediately took out duct tape, attempting to seal the glass, but the tape couldn't handle it. The man suddenly realized the steering wheel lock was under the seat. He came up with an idea, hurriedly pulled the lock open, pressed it against the sunroof, and surprisingly, it stopped the sinking mud. The man nervously swallowed, staring at the sunroof, afraid the glass would shatter. Once he confirmed it was blocked, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. But with this moment of relaxation, he made a foolish move. He gulped down the bottled water until there was almost none left. Only then did he realize he had drunk all the life-saving water. He regretted and panicked. Buried by a mudslide, uncertain how long it would take to escape, the lack of water meant even lower chances of survival. He might as well finish the water. He gathered all usable items in the car, hoping to find survival tools, but nothing was useful. At that moment, water droplets began seeping through the sunroof. The man immediately rushed forward, put his mouth to it and sucked wildly. He felt it was too slow, so he took out his wallet, pulled out a bank card, folded it into a funnel shape, inserted it into a plastic bottle, and jammed it in the locking plate. The water seeping out quickly filled the bottle. His drinking water problem was solved. The man clapped in excitement, then urinated into the storage box for later use. But not long after, he began to feel short of breath. The oxygen in the car was running low. He had to find a solution, so he took out a spare folding chair, pulled out a hollow steel pipe, removed the bottle cap, used a knife to drill a small hole, tied a knot with some hemp rope, threaded it through the cap, then shoved the rope into the steel pipe to seal the pipe with the cap. The man couldn't help but admire his cleverness. He put on gloves, straightened a piece of wire, drilled a small hole in the sunroof, then gripped the steel pipe tightly, pushed it upwards through the hole. But the mud was very compact. The thickness was beyond his imagination. The 1.8-meter steel pipe didn't even reach the ground. The man began to panic. He quickly took the second pipe apart, using the same method, inserted the rope and connected it to the first pipe, slowly pushed it upward until the entire steel pipe went through. But then, he hopelessly realized that 2 pipes weren't enough. Breathing became even harder. The man felt afraid. There was no time to think. He tore out the last pipe, pushed it upwards with all his might. This time the steel pipe was blocked by something. No matter how hard he pushed, it didn't work. The man let out a desperate scream, hastily took out the jack, tried to push the steel pipe upward. Not long later, the jack reached its limit. The steel pipe still hadn't pierced the mud, so he placed a towel on his shoulder. He placed his body against the steel pipe and pushed it upwards with all his strength. The steel pipe finally broke through the soil. He quickly inserted the wire, opened the cap of the pipe. Leaning forward to take a look, he saw a faint glimmer of light.